Righty. Hey, we are live. Welcome, welcome. It's Monday. What do we do on Monday? Well, we break down Grant Cardone's strategy of the week. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it in a second. I pulled out 5 juicy nuggets for me that I think might be able to benefit you too. So I'll share this with you in just a second. Speaking of sharing, what do I always do when I start these things? I share them. Okay, so give me 2 seconds here. Just go find myself here. We're coming to you from the home office. I'm trying a different strategy. I've got my notes up here on my laptop so I can see those, still keep better eye contact with you, follow along, hopefully deliver a little bit more value and make sure that it's significantly more personable to you. Also, breaking in a brand new microphone tonight, so let me know how it sounds. That's an important thing for me, because if you can't hear me, right? So how was everybody's weekend? Did you do anything nice? What are you up to? What's up? Leave some comments below. Tell me who you are, where you're from, while I go and I share all this really cool stuff. Share on a page. Share in a group. Okay, so I just shared one. Share. I know what I'm doing wrong. Got it. I love how I figure this stuff out. Shared to my timeline. And while we're at it, let's just share to my story. All right, cool. So we're all shared now. Happy Monday. Welcome. All right, so hey, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about Grant Cardone's strategy of the week. Every Monday, I like to pop in here live. I like to take any kind of juicy little nuggets, any kind of lessons that I learn from the strategy of the week. And every single one of them is powerful. Every single one of them is going to have a tip, strategy, mindset, attitude shift, a little tweak that you can literally make for yourself to take into your week. I found 5 lessons, and I'm just going to be frank with you. As soon as I took one square look at this week's strategy and realized it was a press release, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do with that? I knew immediately I had my work cut out for me. And this weekend I was with family, and I didn't have a lot of time to prepare this. And so interestingly enough, what started out as kind of a bummer, frustrating, turned into problems or what? Opportunities. Turned into a really cool opportunity for me to take a really hard look at what is there and try and find what can I pull out of this thing. And so the first thing I thought of is that Grant's always talking about when you read a book, you need to be looking for $1 million in that book, right? And I was like, well, why wouldn't that apply to a blog post? Is there $1 million? What kind of value can I pull out of this post, right? So that's exactly what I did. I started looking for nuggets, gold bars, value, things that I could find in this post that I could start implementing in my own week. And because look, if you can understand the mindset of somebody who's significantly more successful than you and has overcome more than you have and has like accomplished significantly more, then you can start adapting some of those mindsets and start maybe reverse engineering that and understanding a little bit better. So that's exactly what I did on this particular strategy of the week. So as I go over these, what I want to encourage you to do is go pull this strategy up yourself over at grantcardone.com/blog. It's Grant Cardone Comes to Dubai. It's the most recent one in there. And see if you can find your 5 nuggets. I found 5 for me. What are yours? They may be different, right? Because you're a different person, right? So I'm going to share with you mine, but I want to encourage you to go find your own, and because they're probably going to be in there for you. It's just about, how you look at it. So if you're looking to become more successful, you're going to have to change the way you think. You're going to have to start doing things a little bit differently, approaching things a little bit more different, because the way you think now has gotten you to where you are. But if you want to get to someplace else, you're going to have to change the way you think. So the way you think now is based on a couple different things. It's things that you've been taught. It's things that have happened to you, and then the decisions that you made about them. those are the three key things that have determined sort of how you think now. So if you want to become more successful than where you already are, you're going to need to change the way you think. And in order to do that, it might make sense to start looking at people who already are more successful than you and how do they think. Okay, so I'm going to give you the 5 that I got so you can start thinking about how do I replace the current thoughts I have with something even more powerful. Okay, so the first thing I found in there is Grant says, the more controversy I hear, the more interested I become. So what I like about this, what I love about it actually, is that so often we tend to go with the flow. And speaking of like the way you've been trained to think, let me just tell you something. That makes a ton of sense because 10, 15,000 years ago, as humans, we're still very tribal. It's a tribal culture, right? And if you go back way, 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 way back 10,000 years ago, thereabouts, the fear of exile, or just getting exiled, getting booted from your tribe, it kind of meant certain death because now you're out there all by yourself and you have nobody to help you. So anything goes wrong and you're probably going to die. So to have the risk of being exiled or shunned or shamed in this society, in this culture, it's not just what that is, but like it can trigger some very base survival instincts for you, which could result in you just not going against the grain, right? So breaking from the status quo could trigger some real ancient fear inside you. Does that make sense? So, however, fortunately, in today's society, breaking from the status quo will not mean certain death. You might kill your career, but you ain't gonna die. So here's what that means, though. So when you start thinking about when you have average think, when you have a mediocre mindset, both of those have a very, very powerful gravitational field because there is so much mass to them, meaning a lot of people think this way. And so that pulls you towards that. And it's harder to escape that kind of gravitational pull because it's a bigger mass. Okay, that's just physics. So when you start looking at highly successful and then you realize that they are not doing what everyone else is doing, they literally march to a beat of a different drum, this should spark curiosity in you, especially if you're looking to create more for yourself. You're like, hey, what is that guy doing? He is not doing what everybody else is doing, right? Even if you look at high performers in any field, they're always doing something a little bit different. And at first, what happens? People think this guy's an outlier. They think he's crazy. They think there's something wrong with him, but he consistently delivers at this high level. So obviously he's doing something right that we are not. So can you unpack what they're doing? Can you reverse engineer it? How are they different? What are they doing that's different? And can I duplicate the thinking, the action, or the behavior, right? So here's an action idea for you, just to help dial this in. And you can leave them in comments if you want to. Jose Garza's here. So just start thinking about come up with three people that are controversial in today's society or in the past, whenever. Just 3 people that are controversial. You can take, there's a lot of low-hanging fruit right now, especially one, right? But feel free to dig a little bit deeper. 3 controversial figures that have or are changing the world right now. And then what I want you to identify, and if you don't like them, it's even better. It makes this more challenging. Then identify 3 things about them that is interesting. What have they done that has helped them stand out from the crowd, rise above, right? Be different, and be controversial. Find something that's interesting about them that you can actually maybe start thinking about emulating. Okay. So second quote, every book I've ever written, apart from one, has been to solve a business problem that I've faced. And I like sharing that. If I could take my business from doing 6 million to 160 million, it'd be selfish of me not to share how I did that. Okay. So there's some juicy lessons in there. There's actually 2. When I started writing this blog post, when I started putting all this together, I had 4 lessons from Grant Cardone. But when I started looking at this, I realized there's 2 in here. Okay. So 2 lessons in this quote. First thing is think of your biggest problem in sales or in business or in life. Your biggest problem right now, what is it? Think about it. Whatever just came to your head, okay? You have it? Okay, great. So now go write a book about it. Seriously. Like, if you did, don't you think you'd probably solve the problem that you're having while you're going along the way? Okay. It's counterintuitive, right? I know. Like, you're thinking I should solve the problem, then write the book. No. Just start writing the book and the solution will present itself. Grant's done this how many times? Every book he's written but one was designed to solve a problem that he was having. Okay. So the second thing, though, is that once you have the solution, don't be selfish and keep it to yourself. Share that. Okay. If it worked for you, it's going to work for somebody else. It will work for others. Now, I know this is true, and I'll tell you why. Because in 2002, I stopped smoking. Cigarettes, that is. And the entire time I was going through stopping, I was journaling. When I was done journaling, I realized, like 9 months later, man, I think I got a book here. So I set a course. I took all those journal entries, I edited them together, organized it, self-published in 2010. I'm on my second edition of the book right now. Right there. How to Stop Smoking Without Killing Anyone. Okay. So I knew that what I did worked because, well, I haven't had a cigarette since 2002. And if it worked for me, then damn it, it's going to work for somebody else. So I should share that. I felt almost like obligated to put it out there. Okay. So true purpose, this is a very important thing. True purpose will always be found in the service of others. So here's your action idea. It's very simple. Write your book, right? Think of your biggest problem. What is it? In sales or in business or in life? Go write a book about it. Do it. Everybody can do it. I did it. If I can do it, trust me, you can do it, okay? So that's your action idea. Now, third quote. The winners in any space who are committed to winning will figure out how to use problems to their advantage. Now, this is right out of Grant's book, Sell or Be Sold. Massive action creates what? New problems. Problems are opportunities. So now think about this. The only two reasons somebody doesn't buy something in sales, okay? The only two reasons somebody does buy something, the only reason somebody's going to buy something is that they love it or because it solves a problem. Book. Again, because they love it or it solves a problem. And if the two of those are combined, then forget about it, okay? So let's just break this down because it's deeper than it looks. Now, winners are committed to winning. Okay, obvious, right? The winners in any space who are committed to winning will figure out how to use problems to their advantage. So winners are committed to winning, all right? But are you committed to winning? Am I? What game are you playing? And how important is winning to you? Okay. How do you, that's important. Like, how important is winning to you? Right? Because a lot of times we make sense of loss or losing by saying, it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the games. It's okay. Here's your ribbon or your participation trophy. Okay. So how do you feel about being a loser? Look, nobody wants that, but are you winning? Because if you're not winning more than you're not, then you're losing. And you're a loser. I'm a loser. Okay. Turns out the reality is if you're not first, you're last. See what I did there? So seriously though, this is huge. It's a shift it's a massive shift in think. Okay. Because nobody wants to be a loser, but if you're not winning, then what are you? So that means what? It means we need to change what we think or how we see loser, loss, okay? Loss is a requirement of success. I'll just say that again. Loss is a requirement of success. Not a Freudian slip, just a tongue twist, okay? Loss is a requirement of success. You have to lose to become successful. You have to lose to win. Think about Babe Ruth. He was the home run king and the strikeout king at the same time. He lost a lot. Okay? Michael Jordan missed more shots than he made. Okay? Surgeons lose people on the table all the time. It's unfortunate, but it's real. But what becomes of it? Okay? You have to learn from that loss. You have to use your loss. There's a great saying in MMA that you're either winning or you're learning. Okay? So when you lose, if you don't learn from the loss, then you are a loser. Okay? But if you learn and you change and you adapt, then your loss is now an opportunity. Okay? So just that, winners in any space are committed to winning. You really need to figure out how committed to winning you are and how committed to learning from loss. Okay? It's deep, I know. You got to work on it. It's not something we're going to handle overnight. Okay? Now the next part is commitment. So creativity follows commitment. You have to be committed. I have to be committed. We both do. Okay. Are you committed to winning and your goals? So the deeper your commitment, the greater your creativity. So anytime you have creative block, it means you might need to just step away for a second and clear your head so that you can see. You got your blinders on, you got to open them up. I had a great teacher in high school. His name was Kent Hayden. He's always saying, hey, when you guys get out of here in 19, don't even worry about what year it was. Because when you get out of here, reality's, you got your blinders on and reality's going to hit you right in the face, right? That's it. The deal is that if you start getting tunnel vision, you start getting pulled into this thing, you're going to lose your creativity. So you got to get outside and get your vision open so you can see more. You can open it up, okay? You got to change your point of view. And then you got to recommit to your goal. You got to recommit to your dream, and you have to recommit to winning. You have to commit every single day. You got to go all in every single day. This allows the creativity to flow and flow freely. So go back to the successful. How creative are they in the moment? I mentioned Michael Jordan. Okay, pretty creative dude in the moment, right? Are they committed? Yes. And because of their deep commitment, their creativity flows. Okay. And then the third piece of this is that problems are opportunities. So if you can look for opportunities to solve problems and then solve them, maybe that's why you're not winning, is that you're not finding these problems and not solving them. Okay. So if you're not actively out looking to solve problems, then maybe you are the problem. Truth grenade. Okay. So here's your action idea for the third quote. Number one, how can you get better? How can I get better? How can we get better at embracing loss? Two, if creativity follows commitment, then I want to encourage you to start everything from the end. Understand where you want to go. Understand where you want to be. Look at the end of your life. Sorry, morbid. Look at the end of a decade, a year, a month, a week, a day, an hour. Look at where you want to be at the end of that length of time. Like, how do you want it to end? Okay, if you work, let's say you're in sales and you go into work. Maybe you work in a furniture store. How do you want your shift to end? Maybe you work at a gym and you're in sales for gyms, right? How do you want your shift to end? How do you want the first half before lunch to end? Okay. and then commit, go all in for whatever that period of time is. Once you know how you want that particular period of time to end, go all in for that time and see what happens to your creativity. That's the point, okay? Third thing is, are you the problem? Okay? And if the answer to that is yes, then you got work to do, okay? That means you got to get better at embracing loss, and you got to get more creative, which means you got to get more committed, okay? So that's your action idea. How can you get better at embracing loss? Start at the end, okay? And what was the third one? If you're the problem, then fix it. All right, fourth quote. Final quote, sorry. The things that make me frustrated are big companies that become complacent, talented people that become complacent. It reminds me of when I had become complacent because we start to cause problems for one another when we become disinterested and stop reaching for our full potential. Let me just read that again a little bit tighter, okay? This is Grant talking about complacency. He says, the things that make me frustrated are big companies that become complacent, talented people that become complacent. It reminds me of when I had become complacent because we start to cause problems for one another when we become disinterested and stop reaching for our full potential, okay? So the lesson is this. When you become complacent, when I become complacent, you start causing problems because you've lost interest and you're bored now because you've lost interest and you're looking for something exciting. Instead of reaching for your true potential, you'll stir some, right? You'll stir it up, okay? So here's the thing about potential. How did you come to believe that it's even possible to finish? This is juicy. Somewhere along the line, you were taught that you go to school and you finish school and then you're done. And somehow that concept has like bled into society. And somewhere along the line, we've all convinced ourselves and we've all come to believe that we finish. Like retirement. So what is it? You finish grade school, you're done. You don't have to do that. You don't have to get better at that anymore. Now we have to go to high school and then you graduate and then you're done with that, right? Then you go to college, you're done with that. We keep finishing stuff as if like we're ever done, okay? And then you retire and then you're done. No. Listen, the universe, I don't want to mess up these stats, okay? The universe itself is still expanding. The Big Bang is still happening. The Big Bang happened 13 some odd billion years ago. And the universe is still expanding outward, which means what? It ain't done. And you belong to the universe. So if it ain't done, neither are you. Okay? Someone at some point convinced you to go to school, get a degree, get a good job, save your money, retire in your 60s, and then enjoy the good life for 15 or 20 years and then die. Meanwhile, at any given moment, the sun, the thing that lights us up, okay? Check out how much energy the sun produces. 3.86 times 10 to the 26th power, okay? So that's 10, the number 10 with 26 zeros after it times 3.86 in terms of watts of energy. That is how much energy the sun gives off, okay? The sun is made up of hydrogen, helium, carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen. 99% of the mass of your body and my body is made up of 6 key elements: oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, and phosphorus. The same elements that are in the sun are in you. What powers you? Nuclear fission powers the sun. But the same elements that power the sun are running around inside your body right now. Okay, so based on that, what are you capable of? What am I capable of? What's your potential? Okay, point being, you're never finished. Okay, so the action idea for that, and then we're going to wrap this up, is you got to let go of your old limits. Okay, either you gave them to yourself or somebody else put them on you and you accepted them. Okay, so for all of us, let's just knock that off. Okay, we don't have a limit, and if we look back, there are plenty of examples of people that have exceeded their limit in a massive way. Okay. So the only limits you have are the ones you give, the ones that you impose on yourself and accept. Okay. It's not helping anybody to not be or to not live at your true potential. Okay. So to let go of your limits, how do you do that? I mean, you literally have to unwind some programming. You have to like unravel some stuff. Okay. So where? Maybe how to do that isn't really the right answer. Maybe where can I do that would be a better question. Okay. I have an idea as to where a good place to do that might be. And that would be in Las Vegas, Nevada. When would be February 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. To go deeper on the where, that would be the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. What? That would be the 10X Growth Conference. And why is that such a good idea? Okay, because there are going to be 12,000 other people just like you with the same elements in their body running around that are all looking to reach their full potential, that are ready to unshackle, okay, that are ready to not be complacent anymore. And they're probably not, because they've stepped out of their comfort zone and they're coming to this event. Okay. And they're going to sit down with about 12,000 other people, and they're going to listen to people that have reached this high level of success, just like we talked about in the beginning. Okay. And we're all going to try and reverse engineer the things that they've done that have worked, so you can take them and bring them into your life and you can start reaching your true potential. Okay. This is not an event to take lightly. This is not an event to miss. This is the reason you want to be there is so that you can soak in some of that energy that's radiating just like the sun. Okay. So how do you get there? Well, a couple different ways of doing that. We've got multiple ticket prices and different levels and stuff. And I'd love to have a conversation with you and help you get in the right place at that event so that you can get the most out of it based on what you want to do when you get there. Okay. So that's what I'd like to do, is have a short conversation with you about why you should go, what you would want to get out of it. Okay. Because everybody's got a different goal when they go there. And you need to know what you want to get out of it when you go there, right? So what that is for you, and then I'll make sure you get in the right seat. Okay. Here's how to get a hold of me. I'm at 818-427-5188. That's my cell. You can shoot an email out, david@grantcardone.com. Either one is going to get us in communication. 818-427-5188 or david@grantcardone.com. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you next week. We're going to deep dive on Grant's strategy of the week. Talk to you soon.